What's the deal, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen? I'm here again. You guys been asking me to bring him back with a very special guest, my man, Madz Gaming. It's the second time we hooked up for a show. Uh, we were supposed to hook up Saturday, but I forgot the kids had a birthday party. But we're here. It's a better late than never. What's going on with you, Madz? What you got going on with you and your new? What you got going on in your channel? Talk to me.
Yeah, all good. Hello, everybody. Nice to be back here on the show again with Next Gen over here. So, yeah, I mean, there's been quite a lot of interesting news regarding, obviously, the Gamescom and some rumors regarding what we may see at Gamescom this Sunday. Obviously, a lot of talk about 8.4 teraflops PlayStation 4. New technologies and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was pretty interesting week, I must say. The gaming wise, maybe it wasn't really, most interesting, really, right? But in terms of like hardware news, there was quite a lot of new stuff going on, really. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now let me ask you a question. Where does Gamescom take place at? What country is it
in? Germany. I think it's in Cologne, exactly, to be exact. Yeah.
All right. Is that far from you? Are you planning to attend, or do you attend?
No, I mean it's not that far away from me, to be honest with you. But I've got some other plans for this week and that kind of stuff, so I can't really go. But I actually planning to go to Gamescom next year. So yeah, I mean it's probably couple of hours drive for me from Poland. So it's Germany is next to Poland, really. So I can actually fly or even drive there. So yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I said, getting right into today's show. Yesterday, unless you've been living under a rock or somewhere in
cave,
Bin Laden's cave, somewhere in the Turkish mountains or whatever. Microsoft came out and announced that Crackdown will be delayed until 2018, early 2018. I initially had a problem with Crackdown. Me personally. They showed it at Comic-Con, and I remember I was live streaming. I was in a party, and on BGST, they were saying, wait to I think crap on those guys was like Microsoft was doing something at Comic-Con. I said, all right, cool. All right, so, because I was having some issues. I've been very vocal about the problems that I've been having with Microsoft and things I think they should do to try to get back into this race here. So Comic-Con came in and showed Crackdown, and to me, it looks horrible graphically. Okay. Now, again, I know people say, people like to say that gameplay is more important than the graphic. But again, we judge games by what we see. And when they showed the game, it looked horrible graphically. Okay. And then they had some actors playing the game. They didn't know what they were doing. They couldn't control it. It was just a mess. All right. But listen, check it out, right? And when I said the game looked horrible graphically, people said to me was like, well, that's how the game looks, and this is the art style. And then, like I said, one of the reasons that they delayed the game or pushed the game back was to, enhance the visuals. Okay. But I don't know. Like, I look again, Phil's a great guy. I know I get confused with being a Phil Spencer hater, but it's like, enough is enough. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you have anything else to counter that. You have a racing simulator. This kind of a niche title. A lot of people not into the motorsports or the simulation racers. This was a huge game for them that's missing the mark. What are your thoughts about that? You know what I mean?
Well, obviously, I'm kind of disappointed with a delay, it probably wouldn't be a big deal if that was only one game being delayed, but that's just another one, right? Because if you think about it, State of Decay was supposed to be a 2017 release. What's the Sea of Thieves was supposed to be a 2017 game as well. So that's obviously that's just another one. And it's not like we had a bunch of great games like throughout the year. basically we had pretty much nothing. I mean, in terms of like bigger kind of games, we had Halo Wars, which didn't really do well, to be honest with you.
No.
And we had like smaller titles like Voodoo Vince and Phantom Dust, which was basically free. And that's pretty much it, to be honest with you. Think about it. We had Tacoma and recently, but these are smaller guys. So we in terms of like bigger kind of titles, zero, almost nothing. And obviously, it's good to obviously it's good to have Forza 7 and stuff. It's going to sell well, but at the end of the day, you need some other games as well. And I get that Microsoft is pushing the whole third-party games and stuff on Xbox One X and stuff, but it's not only about Xbox One X; it's also about Xbox One S. To be honest with you, and once for a while, you need to release some games for your fan base, basically, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm not really trying to say that it's an end of the world, and because I even see some people basically saying that it may damage Xbox One X launch or whatever, right? But at the end of the day, it's not really an Xbox. It wasn't supposed to be an Xbox One X launch title per se, right? Yeah. It's just one of the many Xbox One games. It just happened to be planned for at the same date as Xbox One X launch. But so obviously that's disappointing that we're not really going to get many games from Microsoft this year, apart from Super Lucky Tale, Forza 7, and what else? There was one more game I think I'm missing. Whatever. But at the same time, just like you said, there was a lot of criticism surrounding this game, especially after E3, and yes. And so, to be honest with you, I rather this game to have delayed and polished and finished properly, and actually get a quality game later than having this game obviously released this year and having a mediocre or basically a crap game, right? So I mean, and another thing is, to be honest with you, I don't think that Crackdown 3 would do well in terms of like sales in November. If they release this game in September, October, early October, maybe that would be fine. But releasing this game in November, I mean, I don't remember any game doing well releasing in November, basically, other than Call of Duty, that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. So, I mean, so at the end of the day, this year in terms of like, Microsoft exclusives, Xbox exclusives, it's basically trash, right? Honestly, yeah. I mean, because we're not really more. Yeah, we're not really getting anything. I mean, but so honestly, but yeah, 2018 it sure will be great with all these games.
You know what? Check it out, right? Listen, like I said before, at the end of the day, right? I makes no quarrels. Maybe you can consider me being an Xbox fanboy, right? Whatever. But more than that, I'm a gamer first, right? And I have to be honest, and I just want, like, if you are, he said, quote unquote, a true Xbox fan, and you want better from your preferred company of choice, which is Microsoft, the Xbox, you have to stop the damage controlling if you want them to do better, okay? You don't want to be like Nintendo is with the Switch, and they have about 3 attachments to talk online, and they thinking that they're, that's cool. And the reason why, and again, I don't understand, but I want to be clear. I don't have a problem with them delaying the game. I would rather the game be put out and shown in its best light possible. Okay, that's not the issue with me. The issue is that Xbox gamers have waited so long to get their hands on a AAA game, and they have nothing else to offer with that. You know what I mean? Just to be honest, what games have we gotten this year? Halo Wars 2 is a very niche title, a RTS. Not for me. I'm not knocking those that like it, but it's not my thing, okay? Voodoo Vince.
Remaster.
A remaster. Am I missing something? I know Super Lucky Tales is coming.
Yeah, we had Phantom Dust, which
Okay, you know what? Hey, listen,
original Xbox game, really.
Hey, Matt, I try to be nice. I try to be nice. I took my blood pressure medication. I said I wasn't going to come here. I wasn't going to lose my voice, right? But listen, this is sad. You know what? At the end of the day, right? And I know people say that I'm always critical of Phil or I'm a Donnie D fanboy, and I ask you those that I just listen to how you say men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie, and I say to you guys, what has Phil given us to make you sing his praise? The Xbox One X is coming out, and I can't wait. I am excited for that. You know what I mean? But under Phil, we've lost true Xbox exclusives. We have horrible third-party deals, no marketing, and nothing but canceled games and delays. You know what I mean? Under Killer Phil. So, where do we go from here? You know what I mean? Where do we go from here? I think there needs to be some shakeups, and some people maybe I'd say fired. But we're talking about one of the third, if not the second richest company in the world, Madz. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And listen, and when I said this before, I said I would rather Microsoft sell off the Xbox division or let them or spin it off or let them stay on their own. You know what I mean? Because the way some of them being micromanaged, and I don't understand how you have a Sony with a third or maybe a fourth of the resources that Microsoft has, and they're out there out hustling them in the gaming division. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're in last place right now. You know what I mean? In terms of sales month to month, right? You're in last place. What can you do to turn that around? You know what I mean? You have, and then again, I'm no fan of Nintendo. I don't really care for the Switch. I'm not, with their dated hardware, but they have something, or they're releasing things that appeals to their audience, to their core, as far as exclusives or whatever the case may be. I don't know, man. I really don't know. To be honest with you, it's simply every step that Microsoft takes forward, they take two back. They take one step forward, they take boom. We get into hardware, and you're right. Don't get me wrong, Max. This whole generation, has been about resolution and frames per second. You know what I mean? That's which I think is crazy for console gamers to be out there talking about. But it's all it's been about for the last 3 years, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when when Xbox, they were giving us the exclusives, whether the Quantum Breaks, the Sunset Overdrives, whatever the case. And when you have Sony CEOs saying that their lineup was sparse, all right? Since now that Sony, and this is what I asked some of my fellow Xbox brothers, and they tell me, well, Microsoft was saving on those marketing deals to give us first-party games, whatever. And where the hell are these games, right? Then you have Sony, and Sony has a huge 2018. Let's be clear, they have Spider-Man. They have God of War. They have No Days Gone. Maybe Too Human. Or whatever the case. But here, look. This is what I think is the issue, and maybe I want to get your opinion on this. They crashed. I'm sorry, they canceled or delay Crackdown. Right? It's coming out in 2018. So all you have this holiday season is Lucky Tales and Forza, right? And no third-party deals, no third-party deals. So you don't have the Destiny deal, you don't have the Call of Duty deal, and you don't have the Star Wars deal. And those games are going to be huge this holiday season. It would have been, at least if they could have got locked down one of those shooters, you know what I mean, for that console. It would have been huge to show all of this, how you say, this would be a graphical showcase on the Xbox One X. Like, how do you feel about that? And like, as far as the marketing deals and the lack of on the Xbox platform.
Okay, so let me start with third-party marketing deals.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too concerned about these, basically, because okay, third-party deals, do create this kind of perception that this or that game may be exclusive to one or the other platform, right?
Okay.
But I feel it's more for casual gamers, right?
So it's more casual. That's the money. That's where the money's at.
Yeah. So, but still, at the end of the day, if let's say, I don't know, a couple of million Xbox One owners or whatever played Destiny pretty much everyone knows that Destiny is going to be on every platform. Same with Call of Duty. Everyone, even casuals, right now, they know that every single Battlefield, Battlefront, Call of Duty game will always be on all platforms, right? So I don't think this is a big deal. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't really have any hard numbers to go by, right? I don't have any statistics whether third-party deals really increase sales of a platform or game on particular platform. I don't know, but that's just my opinion. So I wouldn't really worry about third-party deals because at least from my perspective, that doesn't really take anything away from Xbox, right? Maybe apart from Destiny, because obviously Destiny will have the exclusive content for like a year or so, right? So if somebody's into Destiny, then yeah.
Destiny's
so
huge, though.
yeah. So that's third-party deals. So I wouldn't really cry too much about it, to be honest with you. And the other thing is like Microsoft will have two or three of these deals as well. Another thing is that obviously this particular, or actually 2 last years, really wasn't really the best, because obviously a couple of games got cancelled, like Scalebound, like Fable Legends. Phantom Dust was really cancelled as well, because that's what we got actually recently is just basically it's not even a remaster, just like HD version of Phantom Dust, really, right? So a couple of games got delayed and stuff. And obviously this year, apart from Forza Motorsport 7 and Halo 2, we don't really have any bigger kind of titles from Microsoft, right?
Even the worst, yeah.
So obviously, yeah, exactly. So that's not good. And I know that many people say, well, yeah, Sony had the same for the first 2 years this generation and stuff, right? But that's the thing. That was the beginning of generation. And what I think Microsoft should really do, and you never know, maybe they have some plans like that. Look at what happened with PlayStation 3. They were in big trouble. At the beginning of last generation, right? And what did they do? They knew they couldn't fix PlayStation 3. It was basically a disaster to program for, right? Nobody actually knew how to program this damn cell process apart from first-party developers, right? There was basically 2 or 3 developers that knew how to code for this, damn cell processor. But still, Sony invested not in marketing deals and stuff. They invested in first-party games. It took them a while until they got released. But once they got released, PlayStation 3, turned things around, right? And by the end of last generation, they were kind of like they sold similar number of units as Xbox One, Xbox 360, right? So here's the thing. Going forward, we've got Xbox One S on the market, right?
Yes.
That's sort of half console. I mean, that's not really a full console, because obviously specs-wise and stuff, it's still done Matrix console, right? But at least it looks nice and that kind of stuff. It plays some games. It comes with all kinds of additional features and stuff. So it's going to be great for casuals anyway, right? So you've got that. Now, obviously, Xbox One X is a proper Phil Spencer's console, right? So this is something that he really wanted. So that's great. So right now, once they released Xbox One X, it's going to be about time to focus on games, because this is something that obviously will bring them back. And then they will actually be able to compete with Sony, because I mean, let's face it, I don't think Microsoft really is happy about being on second or even third place, because Switch is selling very well right now as well. So they just need to focus. And don't get me wrong, I don't have anything against Xbox Game Pass. I think that's great. On all subscription-based kind of services are great. I actually use electronic EA Access a lot. I mean, I've been subscribed to this particular service for like 2 years almost, right? So Xbox One as a gaming platform has a lot of good stuff, but at the end of the day, consoles are about games. So third-party support is great, but Microsoft needs to actually give something from first-party developers, or even third-party or second-party developers, that is actually exclusive to Windows 10 platform, because it's not really about Xbox One or Xbox One exclusives. It's more about Windows 10 exclusive, right now. But either way, we need those games. And it may be a mixture of games. Some big titles, some another Gears, Halo, Forza. That's fine. I love these games. But they may as well invest in smaller kind of studios delivering smaller games that may become a big franchise. I mean, look what they're doing with Recore. I think they still haven't given up on Recore yet. They are planning to release this Definite Edition and stuff. So you never know. Maybe we will get a sequel if the Definite Edition sells well. I don't know. And this is the thing. Not every single game coming out of Microsoft Studios has to be big AAA, exclusive, right? You don't really have to spend 50, 60, 70 million on a game. Spend 2-3 millions, right? Pick some, very enthusiastic kind of developer, make a game for Xbox. If it sells well, then you will be able to invest more and create a franchise, right? Because this is a huge issue right now with Xbox. They haven't actually created a new franchise since Gears of War.
You know what? And again, see, Matt, this is again another one of my issues, that outside of Gears, Forza, and Halo, I don't know, they canceled Lionhead Studios, and I didn't understand. So I got a lot of people agree with what I'm saying, but it's that I would like to see what 343 Studios can create outside of Halo. I would like to see what the Coalition can create outside of Gears. And to give you an example, you see how Naughty Dog has The Last of Us, they have Uncharted, and just got the green light to get and create another third person, action adventure game outside of the Uncharted and The Last of Us universe. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be 3 big AAA games under their belts. You know what I mean? And we're talking about Naughty Dog, who has, again, not even less than half the resources of a 343. You know what I mean? And I didn't understand the big pushback from gamers, or so-called Xbox fans, saying that they don't want these studios to make nothing outside of Gears and Halo. That's unhealthy. First of all, you know what I mean? You can't. And let's be clear. This Halo, I understand it still makes money, but it's not the juggernaut that it once was. Let's be clear. Listen, how you say men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. It's not the juggernaut that it once was. Gears, love the game to death. I prefer Gears over Halo. Gears 4, it didn't do the numbers that they were expecting, even on PC. That's why I said putting those games day and date on PC did more harm than good. I've been playing Gears 50 for 2 months. I ran into 2 people on PC since I've been playing. You know what I mean? So that didn't help. So what I'm saying, or what I think, you see how a game like Destiny, how it's supported for 2-3 years, whatever, with the DLC, or like they're doing with Forza Horizon. You got the Heart Royals card pack, makes like a whole new game, and they can support those games like that. Like I said, with DLC, we don't need more than I don't know how long we're going in generations now. More 2 or 3 Halos in a generation. No, I say 1. You know what I mean, to the newer hardware come out, or whatever the case may be. But they need something else. And what makes this, again, go back to my original statement, what makes this crackdown thing seem so bad, because they don't have anything else. And that's comes the problem with as far as delays and pushbacks and stuff like that. Things been canceled because you look at this, man. Their biggest game for the holiday season, Crackdown, coming up with their hardware, and it's not even made by Microsoft. They had to go, get some other, I don't know, was it Moon Robo Studios or something, and that's a problem. You got all this money, this big company, and you don't even have your own talent. Like I said, I don't know what they're doing. I don't, man. And you talk about somebody that's been a fan since the original Xbox, and looking at all these exclusives that they had back then, from the 6th generation to the 7th generation, and like now they are former sellers. So I don't understand it. I don't know the direction that they're heading into. I don't know. I really don't know. I guess we got to wait to 2018. You know, but I think now that they just we're gonna have a better version of the multiplayer, which is cool. That carries Sony for the first 3 years, having a better versions of the multiplats. You know what I mean? You know, until Sony comes out with with the PS5 or whatever the case may be. Now, I guess we can move into, like I said, Sony. So I'm quite sure you read the thing about the what is it called, the RTA math, or for the
RPM.
Yeah, there you go. Like, what is that about?
I mean, okay. Well, before we go into this topic, I just wanted to add something on the games, because you did ask, what Microsoft can do to improve. Yes. Obviously, we need more games, and I think that I don't really want to defend Microsoft right now, but there's been a lot of rumors recently, especially before E3. Saying that Microsoft is running around and actually, making all kinds of third-party deals with third-party developers, right? Which may suggest that they are actually trying to secure some exclusives, basically. Now, obviously, they're not using their own first-party studios, and that's a bit shame, because obviously there's nothing wrong with another Gears, Halo, Forza, and that kind of stuff. I really want to see those games, but the Playground studios, those guys, the guys from UK that working on Forza Horizon series,
RPG,
right? Exactly right. They are actually opening another studio. Same company, same kind of people and stuff, and they will be working on an open world kind of game.
So totally different eraser.
Yeah,
something
and
totally different.
Yeah, exactly. So there's been some rumors, and even there was some job postings suggesting that they may actually be working on open world RPG for Xbox, right? So this is something that actually I would like to see more. So you've got Turn 10, you've got 343 Industries, you've got Coalition. Why don't they just dedicate like small teams of people working on some new projects?
That's what I'm saying.
Which may become a bigger games in the future.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, we're talking about huge studios employing 200, 300, 500 people. So why can they not just dedicate like a team of 20 people, designers, writers, whatever, to come up with new ideas,
new concepts, right?
Exactly. So I mean, that's just my 2 cents on it.
Hey, Madz, that's what I'm saying. That's what I've been saying for the last couple weeks. And again, I don't know what's wrong with some of these Xbox guys, but they want to argue me down. Look, it took Naughty Dog, I said, who doesn't have a fraction of the resources of a 343 studio. 343 Studios is about 400 people, right?
Yeah, they're huge, yeah.
Naughty Dog took 10 guys from Uncharted 3 and started them on The Last of Us. 10 guys. And when they finished on Uncharted 3, the whole team went to The Last of Us. Now, what I'm saying, whether you like those games or not, the Uncharted series and the Last of Us is huge for Sony and their fan base. It's huge, whether you like the games or not. So again, I don't understand like the pushback. I mean, and exactly this time, Playground Games. I only know them from making the Forza Horizon series. Their new game is something totally different from Eraser. It's an open world RPG. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's when I say these developers, they're artists, and you can't just put them in the box and say, "Hey, just make one game." Like you never get anywhere with that. But I'm glad you understand what I'm saying. Yeah.
There's a guy in the chat. Sarector. Sorry, I probably pronounced his name incorrectly. He said that Hellblade was made by 15 people. And Hellblade is a pretty big game. So 15 people, I mean, it's doable. It just, you don't really need a huge team to create great games, to be honest with you. So, we'll see how that goes. Okay, so no worries. So
PS4, the new PS4 Pro, not new, but the PS4 Pro, RTA, something, I guess, some technology that's implemented in Vega. Talk to me, what is it about in layman's term? What does that do for the PlayStation 4 Pro?
okay, so obviously, there's, two sides of it. I mean, some say that it won't do anything. Other people say that it will make the PlayStation 4 Pro to be twice as powerful. And the thing is that the truth is somewhere in the middle. Now, everyone quotes Mark Cerny when he said that this 16-bit floats, because this is how it all got started. And that was last year. So it's not really a new thing. Mark Cerny said that PlayStation 4 Pro is using some of the Vega architecture, and basically they packed this 16-bit floats calculations in PlayStation 4 Pro GPU, and basically that makes PlayStation 4 Pro capable of basically 8.4 teraflops in 16-bit computational power, right? And he wasn't lying, really, right? But the problem is that you cannot use 16-bit calculations for everything. And I've made a couple of videos about it, to be honest with you, explaining it and stuff. Comparing this to DirectX 12, secret sauce and that, what have you. But the problem is that 16-bit floats can be used only for certain things, at least at this stage. Because I've had a lot of tech guys messaging me and stuff saying that if a developer really wanted to create a game based on 16-bit floats, they could do that. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't even argue with it, right? Because there are ways to calculate things probably that you can make. You can find workarounds and stuff that the game would probably run on only 16-bit calculations, right? But the problem is that it probably wouldn't be as good looking as most of AAA games. That's one thing. And because some graphical effects, some shaders, vertexes, and that kind of stuff requires 32-bit calculations. And another thing is that when developer is creating a game, it's actually based off of some game engine, right? So we're talking about like Unreal Engine 4, Unity. You've got Crytek, CryEngine, whatever, right? There's like plenty of game engines, and these game engines are usually based off of technology that has been created like 5, 6, 7 years ago, right? And they are still using this technology because it's not possible for most of the developers to create a game engine from scratch every single time they come up with a new game, right? So imagine now all developers dropping their current game engines to the bin and starting working on a new game engines based 100% on 16-bit floats. It would take them at least 3, 4, 5 years to create a game engine, not to mention a game alone. So now tell me, who is going to do that?
Nobody. Yeah, nobody.
It's the same thing as with DirectX 12. DirectX 12 can offer huge benefits, especially for CPU. It can actually increase performance at least by 50% on the CPU side and roughly around 20% on the GPU side, right? But the problem is that not many game engines actually utilize it properly. So there is a guy called Brad Wardell, and he said something interesting a while ago. He knows DirectX 12 very well because he was one of the first who...
Was it Stars?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, that was Ashes of Singularity. Yeah. So that was the first proper DirectX 12 game, and he said that the problem is not with the hardware in DirectX 12 these days. The problem is with game engines, because the game engines still has some old stuff built inside the game engines, and obviously with some additional stuff added to make the game looks better and stuff. I even watched a video recently on the Old Good Gamer or something like that. There is a YouTube channel, PC kind of really, focus really, but they actually said the same. Most game engines are like 6-7 years old basically right now, and they're not really using the latest technologies in terms of like APIs and stuff, that kind of stuff. It will change at some point, but right now that's not the case. So basically with rapid packed math, we may have roughly around, I don't know, 10, maybe 15% increase in overall performance in PlayStation 4 Pro games. And so, I would say that's a lot, but don't count, I don't think anyone should expect PlayStation 4 Pro to close the gap with Xbox One X, to be honest with you, because that's not possible. So that's just my opinion on that. And obviously, even the article that everyone kind of talks about with the WCCF Tech article. In this very article, and everyone seems to kind of miss this. There is a small chunk where you've got like Vega Benchmarks run using 32-bit calculations and 60-bit calculations, right? On some demo running on Vega, and basically this demo running on with 16-bit floats was getting 50 frames per second, where using only 32 floats, it was running at 44. So basically, we're talking about 6 frames per second difference. And this particular demo was created with 16-bit floats in mind, right? So it's what is it, like 10% difference?
Yeah, something along that. I mean,
exactly.
But and again, well, I look like this now. So and I'm actually like this. Okay, and it's probably the last topic. I see a lot of people when talking about the X, right, and they're saying it's $500, right? And why would I get an X when I can get a Pro for $400, and they're both going to upscale or checkerboard or whatever the case may be, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. I was a little surprised at the numbers that Sony released for the Pro. I mean, they're saying 1 out of 5 PS4s are brought. One of them are the Pro, right? I thought it would be much higher. Like I said, this whole generation has been about resolution and graphics. My opinion, why the Pro didn't just really dominate, was the fact that Sony came out and said that you don't need a Pro to experience HDR. That's one of the things. And 2, the games don't really look any better graphically. And what I mean by that, again, like you said, if you look at some of those side-by-side comparisons on Digital Foundry, especially Destiny 2, they say the PS4 Pro is running the same low assets or settings as the PS4 standard. You know what I mean? So again, is that something that can change with the Pro? You know what I mean? With maybe far as software wise, and far as like super sampling or down sampling, why the Pro doesn't offer these things, or like.
Because Sony because everyone kind of laugh at Phil Spencer when he says that it's up to developers, right? But at the same time, they've built a lot of stuff into the operating system, right? Drivers and whatever OS.
Yeah.
So that's why Xbox One X will super sample every single game that runs at 4K to 1080p, and the obviously image quality even on 1080p TV is going to be great. Same with texture filtering, right? Every single game out of the box, even without patches, will actually have a better texture filtering and stuff. Obviously, there's going to be other stuff, but that's automatic. That's basically you run any game and you've got these enhancements out of the box automatically. Whereas on PlayStation 4 Pro, every single thing that needs to be coded, needs to be kind of enabled by developer, right?
Yeah, I kind of figured it's more work. I kind of figured that.
Yes, yeah. So that's the thing with Pro. And in terms of like, graphical fidelity and stuff, I mean, here's the thing. Games will become, better looking and stuff as time goes by, because basically developers are not kind of held back by, last generation of consoles these days, right? Like even Call of Duty right now, the Call of Duty that is releasing this year is looking much better than any other Call of Duty game, because there's no last gen console that they would have to release it for as well, right? So those game engines will actually evolve. Look at the EA Sports games, Madden, FIFA, NBA, I believe. There's been some graphical comparisons between NBA, FIFA 2017 and 18. These games really, looks, different. I mean, you can clearly see that the graphics actually been bumped out. And one of the reasons why it happened was that they actually changed their game engine for the sports game. It's all sports games actually running on the Frostbite 3 engine right now. So the game looks much better. So yes, you will see better graphics on the PlayStation 4 Pro and even PlayStation 4, but at the same time, Xbox One X will always give you this extra edge over what PlayStation 4 Pro offers, because it has more raw power. It comes with more memory and faster memory, so better textures, more graphical effects, etc., right? So I mean, there's no way around it, to be honest with you. And even rapid pack math will not help PlayStation 4 Pro to overcome memory limitations, for example, right? Or memory bandwidth limitations. So it is what it is.
Okay, all right. Well, here's the thing. I said, I guess we can close the show with this holiday season. What are you looking forward to? Me personally, I can't wait to get my hands on Star Wars Battlefront 2. That's I want that more than anything. What are you looking forward to this holiday season?
Well, yeah, Star Wars Battlefront 2, that's for sure. And another game would be Far Cry 5. I really want to play this game.
Yeah, forget about Far Cry.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. And another one is Forza Motorsport 7. I like racing games and stuff. So
I know they're big in Europe, in the UK, over there.
Yeah, I sure will pick this one up. Okay, I guess what else is coming this year?
What about Gran Turismo Sport? You interested or no?
Gran Turismo
Sport.
The problem with this game is that if that's going to be only an online game, I will pass. Because from what I've seen so far, we are getting sort of a career mode, like in brackets, but it's not really a proper career mode. All you get is basically like 150 different challenges where you have to kind of like drive from point A to point B and brake at the at the proper time, so, and that kind of stuff. So not sure if you remember in the previous games you had to pass like licenses and stuff, right, to get to like a proper racers, right? So that's what we get. We're not really getting a proper campaign per se, right? Like offline campaign. So it's going to be online kind of based. So I don't know if they price this game. I don't know if it's going to be on sale or something. I may pick this one up, right? Because I was looking forward for this game. I like racing games, but if I'm not paying $60 for like online mode only.
Well, I know what's crazy. And I'm sorry, not to make some. I just think that Gran Turismo is Sony's their biggest franchise IP to date. I don't know, it's probably maybe their only $1 billion franchise, but it was absent on a big stage at E3. I just think that's crazy. You know what I mean? Side by side comparison. Hopefully, it probably does them. But like as far as content wise, which I don't understand again, Gran Turismo Sport is launching with less content and features than Forza Motorsport 5, which came out in 2013. You know, and this is their premier franchise. I don't understand it. You know what I mean? But you know, but you are a fan of the Motorsport series, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, I like. I love this franchise. So yeah, I'll be picking this one up. Actually, I will not wait until Xbox One X. Really, I'll just pick this one up once it releases on, Xbox One S.
When does it come out? September? When does it come out?
Yeah, I think it's September, end of September, or something like that, right?
Pre-orders for the Xbox One X go up this Sunday, at the Gamescom. So I don't know. Are you getting one at launch, or are you gonna wait?
Yeah, I'm planning to get one on launch. Yeah, I'm saving some money already. So.
All right. Okay. Well, listen. I'm gonna go to, like I said, I'm gonna go to the audience. You guys want to ask 2 or 3 questions right quick? We get the hell about here. Shout out to my man Madz swinging by, rocking out. What's about 9 o'clock there at night? Where you at now? 10 o'clock?
Yeah, 10 o'clock after 10. Yeah.
Oh wow. But if you guys have any questions from my man Madz Gaming while he's here, feel free to let him fly. Let me go to the comment section we got here. Let's see. You act like they aren't dumbing games down to run on the OG Xbox. I don't know what the hell that's about. Any questions from my man Madz? Why you have we get about here? Also markets other things like services, third party, and the consoles themselves. I haven't from Aaron yet that impressed me, and it's obviously not selling consoles, so he needs to go. Or they talking about the shaking people up over there. What's the woman's name? They hit a Microsoft game. Was it Sharon Lofton?
Sharon Lofton. Yeah.
They said she needs to go. Everybody said she needs to be fired. Oh man. So like I said, before we got to any questions from my man Madz Gaming while we're here, anything you want to ask him? We got here. Expect I'm in with it, Z. What's good? What's going on, triple cup Chuck? All right. Do you think Xbox need Fat Caesar says, do you think Xbox need more RPGs and action open world games like Sony does?
Yeah, why not? I mean, there's nothing from Sony directly. I mean, from Microsoft Studios. So, and I think they are working on one already. So, obviously, well, to be honest with you, the more versatile, lineup of games they'll provide, the better, to be honest with you, because this is the thing with PlayStation exclusives. They may not sell well, like 1 million, 2 million, maybe that's not really huge numbers, but at the end of the day, it provides different people different kind of games, right? So the more the more games, the better, basically. Different franchises.
All right. Anybody else got a question for Madz when we get about here? Okay. Transactor, I'm not like I don't. Okay, I'm talking about TRZU. He said 343 can have a small splinter team connecting new IPs, even with the Halo universe, make a Halo Hellblade, if you will. And again, I just think even outside of the Halo universe, I want to see something else from them. You know what I mean? Outside of that, the Halo thing. You know what I mean? Because Halo, they got down smash. That's their thing. You know what I mean? I would like to see what these people can create. I'll give you an example, and people still don't understand this. We can't deny whether you like Destiny or not. Destiny is probably one of the most successful multi-plats to release this generation. Okay. And what I'm saying, but there's a problem about the creativity over there on Microsoft. I don't know. They're not letting these guys. Well, that's neither here nor there. But they had Destiny in their roof and under their roof, and that's no longer there because developers wanted to create something else. And again, I guess Microsoft said, "Hey, no, just sit there, you just make Halo, keep up without Halo," and they wanted to do something else. And we all know that Destiny is a huge success. But it is what it is. He said, "Yes, more first-party studios." You know what, Sam? And maybe you can get your answers too. That would be dope for them to have more first-party studios, but I think it's even easier to have one of they're already, because like I said, the coalition is huge. 343 Studios is huge. They take 10 from each team. They can take 10 from 343, take 10 from the coalition, and let them start working on something new. You know what I mean? If they're not going to go out there and open a new studio because you're going to pay, health insurance and all this. You know what I mean? Listen, if you want to be cheap about it, just take 10 or 5. Take 5 from Rare, take 5 from Coalition, and take 5 from 343. Even take 5 from Turn 10. Let them start creating something new. And like I said again, what makes this thing with the Crackdown, I'm not a huge Crackdown fan. Hurts a little bit because they don't have anything else. That's it. All they have is Forza Motorsport 7, And I'm not a big fan of simulation races. It's not my thing. They don't have anything else, man. But yeah, what do you say to that, Matt? Before we get about here.
Yeah, I mean, the more games, the better, and these new games, new franchises, doesn't have to be like a big franchises, right? I mean, look what they did with Recore. Apart from the fact that they released this game unfinished, it was a good idea. They found a small studio that made them a game, and it didn't end up selling well, to be honest with you, because of the technical issues and stuff. But the whole idea behind it was good, and I really do hope that they will continue like supporting smaller teams with a little bit of money. Let's figure out a new gameplay, new game, something. Develop something refreshing. We publish it, and that's the way it should work, really. So,
all right. Well, again, man, like I said, I'd like to thank my man Madz Game for swinging by. We was trying to get up with you Saturday, but I forgot I had some prior obligations. But look more me and him working together. My man, good dude right here. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please do so, and stay tuned for more. Hit him with your signature, your signature outro, man. Everybody loves that.
Yeah, stay tuned for more.
Thank you guys for rocking up with the show. We out of here.